God is saying to you today, I am positioning you for greatness, and no person on earth can change it. It is not about being the best or not making mistakes. It is about trusting me to be God and walking in my will. Type 1111 if you needed this. Some of the time, we become involved with contrasting ourselves with others or stressing over individuals' thought process. Be that as it may, consider this: God's arrangement for your life is special and custom only for you. You are dreadfully and brilliantly made, and He has a reason for each step you take. To completely comprehend this message, we want to shift focus over to Jesus Christ. He is the ideal instance of confiding in God's arrangement and strolling in His will. In spite of confronting endless difficulties and even demise on the cross, Jesus stayed enduring in His confidence. He realized that God's arrangement was more noteworthy than whatever he might appreciate. In the book of Scriptures, Jeremiah 29:11 says, "For I know the plans I have for you," proclaims the ruler, plans to succeed you and not to hurt you, plans to give you trust and a future. How unbelievable is that? God has plans for your life that are loaded up with trust, thriving, and a splendid future. Anyway, how would we stroll in God's will and embrace the significance He has for us? It begins with trust, believing that God understands what He's doing. In any event, when we can't see the master plan, believing that His timing is awesome. In any event, when we feel fretful, believing that His adoration for us is unfaltering. In any event, when we commit errors, at the point when we give our lives over to Jesus and confidence in Him totally, we free ourselves up to a universe of vast conceivable outcomes. We become vessels through which God's affection and light can sparkle brilliantly. Furthermore, try to keep your hat on, old buddy. There's nothing more satisfying than carrying on with a day-to-day existence lined up with God's motivation. In this way, today, I need to urge you to relinquish any questions or fears that might be keeping you down. Embrace reality that God is situating you for significance. You are adored, treasured, and bound for extraordinary things. Keep in mind, it's not necessary to focus on being awesome or staying away from botches. It's tied in with confiding in God and strolling in His will. In this way, go out there and focus your light, realizing that God is with you constantly. Assuming this message impacted you, remember to like this video, share it with somebody who requires to hear it, and buy into my feed for seriously inspiring substance. Furthermore, as usual, continue to focus your wonderful light in this world. The universe is addressing you today, my companions. It's asking you to relinquish the old. However, with affection and appreciation, here and there we clutch things that never again serve us. Past damages, laments, or even connections that have run their course. Be that as it may, today, the universe is requesting that you discharge everything. Type Amen if you believe. Why? Since while we stick onto the old, we leave no space for the new to enter our lives. The universe needs to favor you with new open doors, energizing experiences, and lovely associations. Be that as it may, to get these favors, you should initially make space for them. Presently, we should discuss your own spirit mission. Every single one of us has a one-of-a-kind reason in this world, a mission that no one but we can satisfy. Also, the opportunity has arrived for you to sincerely zero in on that mission. No more deferrals or interruptions. Now is the right time to step into your motivation and experience your predetermination. In any case, how would you find your spirit mission? Indeed, my dear companions, The response exists in your association with God. Jesus Christ himself showed us the way through his lessons in the God book. He said, "I'm the way and reality and the life." Thus, how about we go to his words for direction? In Matthew 28-19:20, Jesus directed his devotees to proceed to make pupils, everything being equal. This isn't simply a mission for his pupils alone, it's a require every single one of us. We are called to spread love, generosity, and empathy to all sides of the earth. Keep in mind, my companions, you have a heavenly reason you are hanging around, which is as it should be. Furthermore, the universe is adjusting everything in support of yourself to assist you with satisfying that reason. Trust in God's arrangement for your life and have confidence that he will direct you constantly. I trust in you, my companions. The universe trusts in you. What's more, in particular, God has faith in you. Thus, let go of the old with affection and appreciation, account for the new, and leave on this lovely excursion towards your spirit's central goal. You know, making sacrifices is difficult all the time. We frequently think of ourselves as addressing on the off chance that it's worth the effort, or on the other hand on the off chance that we're on the correct way. Yet, let me let you know something. My companions, when we confide in God's arrangement, those penances will pay off. Very much like Jesus forfeited himself for us, we excessively should cover our old selves and develop into another person and moved along. In Philippians 3:13-14, the missionary Paul reminds us, "Family, I don't see myself as yet to have grabbed hold of it. However, one thing I do, failing to remember what is behind and stressing toward the thing that's coming down the road, I proceed toward the objective to win the award for which God has called me upward in Christ Jesus." Having limited focus is fundamental for the satisfaction of our life's vision. It's tied in with zeroing in on what we want to accomplish to get what we really need. A day-to-day existence lined up with God's motivation. What's more, despite the fact that it might appear to be intense now and again, we should continue to believe that it will turn out positively very soon. Axioms 3-5-6 helps us to remember this reality and trust in the ruler with everything that is in you and lean not on your own comprehension. In the entirety of your ways submit to him, and he will make your ways straight. Thus, my companions, focus your eyes on Jesus Christ, a definitive illustration of penance and love. Allow his message to direct you through the difficulties and vulnerabilities of life. Keep in mind, he has a great arrangement for you, an arrangement that is loaded up with favors and reason. In Jeremiah 29-11, God says, "For I know the plans I have for you, plans to thrive you and not to hurt you, plans to give you trust and a future." I need to urge you to embrace the penances you're making at present. Believe that they will lead you to something more prominent and line up with God's arrangement for your life. Maintain your emphasis on Jesus. Look for insight from the book of scriptures. And recollect that your process is important for a heavenly showstopper. Life can frequently toss startling difficulties our way, and becoming involved with the chaos is simple. Be that as it may, stop and think for a minute. My companions, we have the ability to pick how we answer. We can neither allow these difficulties to consume us or transcend them with confidence and idealism. As a Christian, I track down strength and direction in the lessons of Jesus Christ. His message is one of adoration, trust, and reclamation. Furthermore, in the midst of vulnerability, we really should go to his words for solace and motivation. One refrain that has been impacting me this week is Philippians 4:13. According to it, I can do everything through Christ who reinforces me. This strong update advises us that with God close by, there is no test too large for us to survive. So how would we work on our mentality and raise our convictions, all things considered? It begins by settling on 11 decisions with our activities. Each choice we make, huge or little, ought to line up with our qualities and carry us nearer to our objectives. Also, here's the wonderful thing: when we decide to zero in on what we have some control over and let go of how it hasn't affected us, we make space for marvels to occur. We welcome inspiration, overflow, and happiness into our lives. So my companions, as the week progressed, we should make sure to stay hopeful as we seek after our everything. We should rest on the lessons of Jesus Christ and the inside view, as in the book of Scriptures. We should confide in God's arrangement and realize that He is consistently with us, directing us constantly. Have you at any point felt like something was absent in your life, like there was a void profound inside your spirit that you just couldn't fill? I realize I had. In any case, imagine a scenario in which I let you know that there is a method for tracking down evident satisfaction and experience supernatural occurrences past your most out-of-control creative mind. Everything begins with a choice to need a decent life, a choice to look for an option that could be more significant than yourself. The universe has an approach to answering our longings and expectations. At the point when we settle on the decision to seek after an existence of direction and importance, the universe starts to adjust in support of ourselves. Individuals we want will come into our lives with flawless timing. The entryways we really want to stroll through will marvelously open before us. However, no part of this can occur until we settle on that underlying choice, until we genuinely, earnestly conclude that we need something else for ourselves. As far as I might be concerned, that choice came when I found the message of God, the message of affection, trust, and recovery that Jesus Christ brought to this world. Jesus isn't simply a verifiable figure or a strict image. He is the exemplification of God's message to humankind. In the good book, we find endless refrains that address the force of our choices and the wonders that can unfurl when we conform to God's will. One such section is found in Jeremiah 29:11, which says, "For I know the plans I have for you, plans to succeed you and not to hurt you, plans to give you trust and a future." At the point when we give our lives over to God and confidence in His arrangement, marvels start to occur, connections are re-established, monetary weights are lifted, and recuperating happens in the most surprising ways. It's anything but an issue of on the off chance that supernatural occurrences will occur, yet rather when. Thus, my companions, I urge you to pursue that choice today. Conclude that you need a decent life. Conclude that you need to encounter supernatural occurrences. Hold nothing back from the message of God, and let His adoration and elegance change your life. Keep in mind, the power exists in you. The universe is hanging tight for your choice. What's more, when you really, truly choose, supernatural occurrences will occur. Everything revolves around moving toward our fantasies at lightning speed. On the whole, delivering the weights encompassing our funds and having unflinching confidence that everything is working out as per God's arrangement. My companions, the universe has an approach to adjusting things impeccably when we confide in God and give up our concerns. It resembles a heavenly dance where we let go of our feelings of trepidation and permit God to start to lead the pack. What's more, when we do, supernatural occurrences begin occurring. Presently, I realize delivering the hold on our finances can challenge, bills stacking up, obligations approaching over us. It's not difficult to feel overpowered, be that as it may. Let me help you to remember the expressions of Jesus Christ himself in Matthew 6:26. Take a gander at the birds of the air. They don't plant, or procure, or store away in outbuildings, but your radiant Dad takes care of them. Is it true or not that you are not significantly more important than they? Isn't so fantastic? God deals with every last animal in this world. So what amount more will He deal with us? We are His adored youngsters, and He needs only awesome for us. In this way, my companions, now is the ideal time to deliver those monetary weights and trust that God has an arrangement for our thriving. Be that as it may, recollect, having confidence doesn't mean sitting inactively and trusting that cash will pour down from paradise. It implies making a motivated move while realizing that God is directing our means, as Maxim 16:3 expresses. Focus on the Master anything you do, and He will lay out your arrangements. Thus, how about we set our confidence in motion? We should make a financial plan, save carefully, and work steadily towards our fantasies. Furthermore, as we do, we should recall the expressions of Jeremiah 29:11. For I know the plans I have for you, pronounces the ruler. Plans to thrive you and not to hurt you, plans to give you trust and a future. Trust in those words, my companions. Accept that God's arrangements for your life are more noteworthy than anything you can at any point envision. Discharge the weights encompassing your funds, have confidence, and watch as your fantasies unfurl before your eyes. Good day, delightful spirits. In the event that you're watching this video, think of it as a heavenly sign from the higher domain. This message is intended for you, and it's an immediate affirmation that you will make it. Indeed, you heard that right. Accept it with everything that is in you, regardless of what your ongoing conditions might resemble. God, the All-Powerful, is going to send a shower of favors your direction. Answers for your concerns are coming. Mending is coming. Love is encompassing you, and positive change is not far off. Isn't that right? Presently, we should discuss our adored friend in need, Jesus Christ. As Christians, we trust in His heavenly presence and the force of His message. Jesus strolled this world spreading affection, empathy, and absolution. He trained us to embrace each other and to constantly take a stab at exemplary nature. In the midst of uncertainty or vulnerability, go to the Holy Book for direction. It is a mother lode of shrewdness and motivation. One section that strikes a chord is Jeremiah 29:11, which says, For I know the plans I have for you, proclaims the Master. Plans to thrive you and not to hurt you, plans to give you trust and a future. This stanza advises us that God has a reason for every single one of us and that He believes us should prosper. One more remarkable section is found in Matthew 11:28-30, where Jesus expresses, Come to me, all you who are fatigued and troubled, and I will give you rest. Take my burden upon you and gain from me, for I am delicate and humble in heart. And you will track down rest for your spirits, for my burden is simple and my weight is light. These words act as a wake-up call that we don't need to confront our battles alone. Jesus offers us comfort and alleviation from our weights. In the midst of difficulty, it's vital that God's affection is genuine. Romans 8:38-39 guarantees us that nothing can isolate us from His adoration. For I'm persuaded that neither demise nor life, neither holy messengers nor evil presences, neither the present nor the future, nor any powers, neither level nor profundity, nor whatever else in all creation, will actually want to isolate us from the affection for God that is in Christ Jesus our ruler. So my companions, clutch these inspirational statements and let them guide you through life's highs and lows. Believe that God has an arrangement for you, and He won't ever leave you. Keep in mind, this heavenly sign is your affirmation that better days are coming. All in all, embrace your confidence and confidence in the force of God's adoration. Trust that gifts, arrangements, mending, love, and positive change are en route to you. Keep your heart open to get these gifts and spread the message of desire to everyone around you. Remain solid, have confidence, and realize that you are never alone on this excursion. May God's elegance be with you generally. Amen. In this quick-moving world, we are continually barraged with messages that attempt to characterize our value and reason. Society lets us know that achievement is estimated by material belongings, distinction, and brief joys. In any case, where it counts, we realize there must be something more significant, something that genuinely fulfills our spirits. That is where God steps in. He has a preferable arrangement for you over anything this world can offer. His arrangement is established in timeless love, light, and life. An arrangement goes past our natural presence and stretches out into the domains of endlessness. Isn't so unbelievable? God sent His child Jesus Christ to show us the way. Jesus exemplified the ideal illustration of affection, sympathy, and magnanimity. He instructed us that genuine satisfaction comes from a relationship with God and from experiencing His motivation for our lives. The good book is loaded up with stanzas that enlighten this heavenly arrangement. In Jeremiah 29:11, it says, "For I know the plans I have for you," pronounces the ruler, "plans to succeed you and not to hurt you, plans to give you trust and a future." This section advises us that God's arrangement is one of overflow and trust. At the point when we give our lives over to Jesus Christ and fall in line with His lessons, we open the completion of God's favors. We experience His unrestricted love, His directing light in the midst of dimness, and the commitment of everlasting life in His presence. So my dear companions, don't be influenced by the vacant commitments of this world. All things considered, embrace reality that God has a superior arrangement for you. Trust in His heavenly timing. In any event, when things appear to be questionable, look for His direction through supplication and drench yourself in His promise. Keep in mind, God's arrangement is tailor-made for you. An arrangement gives pleasure, harmony, and reason. An arrangement won't ever blur or erode. As we finish up this video, I need to leave you with this idea. You are profoundly adored by the Maker of the universe, and He has a remarkable arrangement for your life. Embrace it. Stroll in certainty, and trust that His favors will spill over. Until some time later, may God's affection and beauty encompass you generally. Remain favored. Good day, delightful spirits. Today, I need to converse with you about something near my heart, a relationship favored by God. I know it's difficult, and the holding up can be extreme. Yet trust me when I say that it's worth the effort. You are worth far beyond agreeing to average quality. Time can be something difficult, particularly while we're hanging tight for something as gorgeous as affection. It might seem like everybody around you is falling head over heels, while you're left pondering when it will be your move. In any case, let me remind you, old buddy, that God has an ideal arrangement for your life. He knows precisely who you will wed, and He's composing your story right now. I comprehend that holding up can be troublesome. However, trust me when I say that fooling around with some unacceptable individual damages much more dreadful. It's smarter to be patient and hang tight for the one God has arranged for you, and to make do with somebody who doesn't really esteem you. Keep in mind, you are frightfully and superbly made by the Maker of the universe. You merit nothing, not as much as His best. Anyway, how would we discover a genuine sense of reconciliation? In the pausing, we rest in God's timing. We give up our longings and trust that He understands what's best as far as we're concerned. It's not generally simple, yet through petition and looking for His direction, we can track down comfort in realizing that our opportunity is approaching. As we explore this excursion of stalling, how about we clutch the expressions of adages 3 to 5 to 6, and trust in the Master with everything that is in you, and lean not on your own comprehension. In the entirety of your ways submit to Him, and He will make your ways straight. God's arrangements are far more prominent than anything we can envision. Thus, how about we trust Him sincerely? In Isaiah 40 to 31, we are reminded that the people who look out for the Master will re-establish their solidarity. They will mount up with wings like birds. They will run and not be tired. They will walk and not weak. In this way, old buddy, cheer up and track down strength in the pausing. God is setting you up for something exceptional. Keep in mind, a relationship favored by God merits the pause. You are worth more than agreeing to anything short of His best. Trust in His timing. Give up your longings and discover a sense of reconciliation in realizing that your opportunity is approaching. Rest in the affirmation that God has proactively composed your romantic tale, and it will be more gorgeous than you can at any point envision. Up to that point, continue looking for His presence, filling in confidence, and embracing the excursion. You are adored and fathomable, and your ideal romantic tale is not far off. Sending you all my adoration and supplications. Remain favored. Have you at any point met somebody and felt a moment association, like the universe contrived to unite you? An inclination resists clarification, yet entirely it's obviously strong. Today, I need to discuss those minutes and the message I accept they convey. In my excursion, I've come to understand that these associations are not simple happenstances. They are heavenly intercessions, coordinated by a higher power. Whether you call it destiny, incredibly good karma, or something completely different, there's no rejecting that there's a more prominent thing at work. As far as I might be concerned, that higher power is God. Also, His message is one of adoration, sympathy, and reason. He brings individuals into our lives for an explanation, as sweethearts, companions, or even as something else. They assist us with feeling invigorated and help us to remember the excellence in this world. Presently, I comprehend that not every person shares my confidence in God or Jesus Christ. Yet, let me let you know this. The insight and lessons found in the book of Scriptures rise above strict limits. They offer direction and motivation to anybody looking for a more profound comprehension of life. One of my #1 book of Scriptures stanzas that addresses these heavenly associations is Jeremiah 29:11. According to it, "For I know the plans I have for you," proclaims the Master, "plans to succeed you and not to hurt you, plans to give you trust and a future." This section advises us that even amidst vulnerability, God has an arrangement for every single one of us. Another strong refrain is Precepts 27-17. As iron hones iron, so one individual hones another. This stanza features the significance of these associations in our lives. We are intended to elevate and move each other, similarly as God plans. In this way, regardless of whether you trust in God, pause for a minute to ponder those unique associations in your day-to-day existence. Ponder individuals who have come into your life when you really wanted them the most. They are not mishaps but rather endowments, conveying a message that you are cherished and upheld. In this high-speed world, ignoring these heavenly connections is simple. Yet, I urge you to stop and value them. Contact the people who have had an effect in your life. Tell them how thankful you are for their presence. Keep in mind, there's no need to focus on changing anybody over completely to a particular conviction framework. It's tied in with perceiving the excellence of these associations and embracing the message they convey. A message of affection, trust, and reason. Thus, the following time you meet somebody who feels like they have a place in your life, don't excuse it as simple possibility. Embrace it with great affection and let the message of God's adoration radiate through.